Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is your plug. Robert D. Muhammad of Plugged In, the hottest new podcast that's right here in the podcast universe, simply because we give you the information that you need in order to take your business to the next level. So if anybody's out there who's listening or watching the podcast, you guys, if you're thinking about starting a business, if you're thinking about expanding your business, or just simply for scaling your business, this is the podcast that you need to be listening to, because we drop jewels the entire time. Now, today my guest is a very dear friend of mine. I met this young lady I'm gonna say about a month or two ago, and just from hearing her story and the things that she's moving and doing in her business, I just knew that I had to get her on the podcast. We have similar things that we're working on, as far as she's a book author. She's published and written several books, bestsellers. Don't let me take anything away from her thunder. She is a best-selling author. She has a bangle business to where she's now moving products through social media by selling her customized jewelry. Welcome, everybody, your friend and my friend, hopefully my sister-in-law, but LaCricia. Hey, what's going on, LaCricia A'ngelle?
How are you today?
I am living the dream, sister. I can't complain. If I did complain, I don't think nobody even be listening to me. But I don't have anything to complain about. What's happening in your world?
Everything is coming up roses.
Wow, roses. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Without thorns.
Oh, okay. Now you know Outkast say roses smell like ooh ooh ooh, but
I don't know. I don't listen to them.
oh, what? You right there in Georgia,
I know.
right next door. They're icons. Oh wow, man. Well, while we have the people on and they're watching and they're listening through whatever platform, we've launched on 5 podcasts right now, or we're being played through 5 podcasts, and they also can watch this the stream on the YouTube channel. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll have the links up everywhere where you can watch this on the YouTube link. But you have so much going on like I do. I thought I had a lot going on. But let's start with the first one that I know about, the books.
Yes.
So exactly how many books do you have to your credit now?
I have 7 novels and
7
one short
novels.
story. That's correct.
Wow. And how many have gone bestseller?
At least 4.
4 bestsellers.
Yes.
Now, hold up. I can't let you just skate by there and just throw out 4 bestsellers like, that's just a ham and cheese sandwich. 4 bestsellers. And you moved all of those, not say all of them, but you moved the bulk of those sales through social media platform.
Absolutely.
All right, give us the dibs, sister. Give us the dibs. How did you go about doing that?
Well, the main thing I realized early on when I started the process was that I had to go where the readers were. There's only so many events I could attend. There's so many places that I could be. And so it always stuck with me. Books can go where bodies can't. So I knew that my personal body couldn't go everywhere. And I couldn't go into the prisons. I couldn't go into the hospitals. I couldn't go into other countries. So I had to find out what platform I could get on that I could reach the readers without my physical presence being there.
And what platform did you use? Amazon?
Amazon, Facebook. I definitely use the features of ads on both Facebook and Amazon. And one thing I liked about both was the fact that I could target particular people that were interested in my style of writing or the things that I wrote about. I could handpick those people and it would reach out much further than I personally could.
Now that's something very interesting, because now it's not too many of us that social media marketers or social media influencers that know that you can go in and tweak the analytics in those social media platforms, and you can specifically target your audience, and as opposed to just putting something out there and hope that somebody buys it or it sits on the shelf and collects dust. So
Absolutely.
now, when you did that breakdown, now because I did the same thing when I released my two books. What was the, and this is what is so important to the listeners out there. The target number that came back of your reach. Do you remember that number?
Oh gosh, I've done multiple campaigns,
Right.
so it was interesting to see hundreds of thousands in some cases,
Wow.
millions in other cases, depending on how broad I wanted to go. Whether I wanted to target people just in the U.S., if I wanted to target particular English-speaking countries,
Right.
that kind of tweaked the number of results I got. But the
Wow.
thing that interested me the most was the fact that I was able to go so much further than my friends list.
Wow. Now, see, and that's interesting because the old business paradigm, years ago when I first started out, they used to call them mailing list. And you can pay the United States Post Office for certain
Right.
areas that you wanted your circular or your ad to go into those particular neighborhoods. But
Right.
that was only within the United States. Now, what was
Right.
interesting was you said you reached across the pond
Oh,
and
yes.
had your book selling overseas,
That's right. That is correct.
and you never left Georgia.
Well, never left the United States.
Yeah, in the United States. I mean, I know you've been out there promoting and all things like that. Now, did that stop you from actually even selling or moving the physical copy in person?
Actually, no, because you have the readers, those that are okay with having ebooks. You have those that like to fill the pages, and then you have those that love that added personal touch of seeing the author's signature. So
Right.
I was able to move product through Amazon for people that just wanted to get the book. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, other online platforms. But then I had those readers that wanted that personalized signature. They wanted that message. They wanted to know that I personally appreciated their purchase.
Wow. Okay. So now, what are your books based around, or what is the well, yes, let's get into that. I'm going to ask you that first. What is the scope of the books? Because there's so many different genres out there.
Right.
What's your particular lane?
My lane is inspirational fiction and romance. I
Ooh.
teeter on the romance a little bit more just because I love love.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I like for my messages to, I like for my readers
Right.
to leave with something. I want my books to trigger every emotion. I want you to laugh. I want you to get mad. I
Right.
want you to say, oh, and then at times feel like you're fighting tears, if not crying. But
Okay.
I like for my stories to be true to life to where people can look at it and identify with the character. It's like either you see yourself in it or somebody you know.
Now, when you say you wrote 7 books, 4 bestsellers, that must have taken you years to write each book. So that's if a year is equated to each book, that's at least 7 years on writing. Did it take that long?
No, actually, and it depends on the book.
Okay.
My first book took 3 years.
Wow.
It didn't actually physically take 3 years to write the book,
On
but
and
it
off.
took me 3 years to have that confidence to say maybe somebody will read this and
Wow.
to actually
Okay.
put it out there. So I would go in and play with it a little bit because I allowed what I felt like a hindrance by me not having a degree, not having formal writing training. So I let that hinder me. But when I realized, tell the story. That's what it's about. Get a great editor.
Right. Okay.
Tell
Okay.
the story. Put the story out there. And when I realized the story was bigger than my insecurities, then I continued on.
Now that's powerful. That's powerful. But that's also a section in your business that you offer that particular type of help. So for
Absolutely.
those of you who out there are thinking about writing a book or putting a book out there into the universe, they can contact you and you can guide them along the way.
Absolutely.
So how did you transition from being an author over to actually incorporating that into the business to help other people put their books out there?
When I completed my first book, I wrote what I felt like was the best book that I could write. I had it edited by a wonderful editor, and I sent it out to the mainstream publishers, and there were so many people that wanted to change the story. I wanted to be able to tell the story that was given to me. And so when I first started, independent publishing was not popular. But I knew that this was the story that God had given me, and this is the one that I wanted out there.
Right.
And so through much prayer, I said, okay, God, what do I do? The Lord led me to start His Pen Publishing. And I said, well, I don't want to be a self-published person, but he put it on my heart to start a company to not only be able to put my work out there, but to also assist other authors that don't know where to start.
Right.
I went in completely blind. I knew no authors. I had no writer affiliation. So I had to get in there from the ground up.
Right.
I had to friend people on MySpace.
Right.
How long ago it was?
MySpace.
MySpace.
Wow. Okay. That long ago. Wow.
I've been in the game a long time.
Okay.
And so that's how I was able to connect with other authors and connect with writers group and learn the first cover design idea I had. I had a ton of people going, don't you put that out there.
Really?
And they were able to offer me advice on where to go to get stock photos and different things to get myself a cover that would look compatible to what was mainstream.
Right.
And that's what I want to make sure from the beginning is that anything that was produced by His Pen Publishing, that it was comparable to Random House and all the Penguin at the time and all of the other big name publishers. You can't pick up a His Pen Publishing book and another Random House book and see the difference.
Wow. Okay, and that's something similar to my story, because when my coach, my business coach, wish I give him a shout out online, but when he first told me to write a book, I was like, man, I'm a middle of the road high school student. I don't know the first thing about writing a book. I might not even been in the middle of the road, but so he was like, well, he said, well, Robert, he said, I have ghostwriters. So here I am. I'm researching ghostwriters because I don't know anything about writing a book.
Right.
And you know the cost?
Yes,
the closest one was in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, trust and believe, she had a laundry list of credentials. I mean, she was editors on several magazines. A couple of her books, or a few of her books, became B movies. So she had all of the wow factor out there.
Right.
But when she came back and told me 30 bands, I was like, you take a post-dated check for like 2030, you know, that's the only way that you're gonna get 30 racks out of me. But I found another company that was right in Lansing, Michigan, and she actually I joined onto her webinar series, and she actually showed how to get the book done in 30 days. Now, I know that sounds a lot of fast for a lot of people, but I really just wanted my information to be out there.
Exactly.
I was a young entrepreneur. I was in the business, and the most key thing that she told me was, she said, Robert, she said, get it out of your head.
Right.
She said, you can fix all the other stuff, you know, just get it out of your head. And then we can fix and clean all of that up. Now, here's something that's interesting, because was the books first and then your jewelry business?
Yes, the books were definitely first.
So how did that transition come about from, because that's night and day. Completely two different lanes. Now, if you had said, you know, I was going into short films or something like that, that's the next step from book writing, you know, especially with bestsellers, to your credit. But you went jewelry. So what was going on with that?
Well, actually, I followed a ministry and they had these beautiful bracelets that I absolutely love.
Okay.
And I had purchased them and I gave a good friend of mine my favorite bracelet. And I did it because I felt like I can get another one, no problem.
Right.
But then they stopped selling it. And then when
Okay.
they finally restocked, they had changed the design. So I was like, oh my gosh.
So this business came out of anger. You was mad.
I wanted that bracelet.
Right. Okay.
So just
Okay.
like I said, I wanted my books to be compatible to the mainstream publishers. I
Wow.
wanted my bracelet to look like that bracelet I saw. So I went and
Wow.
got supplies. I took a picture of it and I didn't stop until I got it. Well,
Right.
then I realized I enjoyed making the bracelets. And so I would just like post them on Facebook. And I have several followers and I put
Right.
it on Instagram just saying, oh, look at my new bracelet. Well, then people started to say, oh, can I purchase those? Can I get that? Can I? You sure
Wow.
can. And so from that, the
So
bracelet business was
okay,
born.
so you went from all right blessing somebody else with something that you
Yes.
loved,
Yes,
and then it went to you couldn't get that same piece back
exactly.
till it went to you making your own
Yes,
to
absolutely.
people. Now, here's the interesting thing, and this is how I want to tie this into how social media became a part of that.
Because it was
How
definitely on social media.
how long of a time span was that it went from an idea, a thought, to the physical product to actual people requesting to purchase
Not even
products?
a month. Not
Get
even a
out
month.
of here.
I'm serious.
You were in business in 30 days.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, my daughter, one of my daughters often said, she said, if you hadn't have given away that bracelet, you
It
never
wouldn't have
would have
never
had
sparked
the
the love.
desire to remake it.
Right.
And I mean, as soon as I started posting them online, people started requesting them. I've had entire book clubs. They wanted it for their entire clubs. I've had people reach out to me to have
Wow.
special events that they wanted to give them away as prizes. And I mean, different
Wow.
special events that they had come up. I've been able to create bracelets custom
And so
designed for those people,
and so these
men
customers
and women.
so oh okay. So you have both sexes. So but
Yes,
these customers came just from you sharing the
just for me to
product
share. That's
on
correct.
social media.
That's correct.
And in
And it
30
was
days,
posted on social
so
media.
how long did it take for you to get your return on your investment back? From
Oh,
the materials and the product that you bought.
this was the key. I follow a woman named Charvette Mitchell. She is awesome
Okay.
at,
Shout out to
promoting.
Charvette.
Charvette. Yes.
Chardonnay. Okay, oh, my bad. She gonna kill me for
Charvette.
butchering
No.
her name.
Yeah, definitely a shout out to her. But one thing she always teaches in her webinars is that if a person doesn't want to pay your price, they're not your customer.
Wow.
So I knew initially I could either make value bracelets that were worth nothing, or I could make a quality bracelet, price it the way that I needed to price it,
Right.
and immediately get that return and turn a profit.
So social media also help you found
Yes.
those quality customers that will pay your price without trying to jury rig you and beat you down and
Exactly.
wow. So you don't have that Clara's boutique type jewelry, where you just go in there and he said, "Oh no."
So I'm gonna take my
Wow.
time to make it because I hand make them and I make sure you're getting a great product. And
Wow.
so, and I put a guarantee on it. If you have any issues with it, I'll replace it if needed.
Now that's
So
valid.
I put my name behind my stuff.
Okay. Wow. So you heard it here, family. How fast the business can move for you by utilizing social media platforms, not just in a regular product business, but if you have a service, you can gain quality customers. Now there's 4.7 billion subscribers to YouTube. Now a lot of those aren't making great money. Let's just be real. But it opens up an avenue and a lane to put you in places that you can, because you know how much retail shelf space, and they charge by the linear foot. Now, most people don't even know what a linear foot is. That's 13 inches.
Right.
So if you're in Walmart, just go measure 13 inches and that would be your shelf space. But Walmart is charging millions of dollars.
Right.
So that would require you to have a whole heap load of inventory to supply. So now, from what I'm getting from you, that means that your inventory is small, but your profit margins are large. Because is it a made-to-order business?
It definitely is. Now, when I do different events, I do go ahead and pre-make several bracelets and things of that nature so that people can do a cash and carry.
Okay.
But for my customized items, yeah, it's definitely on by request.
Wow. Okay. You heard it right here, family, that you can do this. Anyone can do it. All you have to do is, first, if you're interested in doing books, how can they get in touch with you on getting their book to come to fruition?
Okay, so my publishing company is hispenpublishing.com.
Okay.
They can reach me
Make sure
there.
you send me that so I can put that in the link description.
I will. I definitely will. And they can also reach me personally on social media platforms under LaCricia A'ngelle or author LaCricia A'ngelle.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, this section of the podcast, and we do this for all the guests. One, what is, and it's called the quote that sizzled in your spirit. So, what quote have you heard or did you hear that just moved you to take your business or your personal life to the next level?
For me, that quote would definitely be, never let another person's attitude determine your altitude.
Oh. You're preaching now. You're preaching now. Never let anyone's attitude determines your aptitude. That's deep. I gotta get you to come back and do another podcast because we're gonna break that down. I don't think people know how serious that is, and really that ties into a lot of people who hate, and they, and a lot of people give up, because somebody is hating on them, and we'll break that down too. Right. But never let anyone's attitude dictate or determines.
Determine your altitude.
Determines your altitude. Wow. All right, right here. One more before we go. I know you're a busy woman. And this is called dropping jewels. So I want you to drop a jewel, and a jewel is a business tip that you can tell out there to all of the people that's watching this. What is one business tip that you can share or that you will share that will get somebody to move in their business or let them know that, hey, they can start one?
Okay. My main thing would be to tell people, don't let your perceived hindrances stop you. Okay. Don't let your insecurities stop you, because there are resources available for whatever product you have, for whatever business you want to go into. The resources are out there. So what you don't know, you can learn. So don't let that stop you from moving forward, because if you only look at how big the ocean is, and you'll never take that step. So always just go forward and know that the resources are out there. I had a calendar once, and it says leap, and the net will appear. And so once you take that step, know that what you need will be provided.
Wow, and you heard it right here, family, with Miss LaCricia A'ngelle, right out of the great state of Georgia. And she has dropped some true science and jewels on you and let you guys know that, hey, if you have a book that's out there that's in your head and you want to write a book, the science says that at least 84% of the population in the U.S. wants to write a book before they die. And she just gave you all of the avenues that you can get this done and get it published. And if you need somebody to help you publish it, if you need somebody to edit it for you, you have her info, which will also be into the description box. All of her info will be in the link where you guys can reach out and get in touch with Miss LaCricia and just tell her that Robert sent you. You saw it on the podcast and that you want to get this thing done. Also, if you have a business, not just the jewelry business, but if you want to do any business, she can also help you and guide you through the landfill on how you can get that done and put out there on social media. Sis, I thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing it with us, and thank you for sharing it with all of the listeners. Hey, and I will see you at the top.
Yes.
I know, right? Hey, and we're signing off. Hey, family, tune in next week to where my guest will be none other than Miss April Lemon, Paparazzi Queen out of the state of Florida. She is crushing the game right now. And hey, you guys tune in. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.
There we